Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you're interested in today's video. Recently, several tech media outlets, including Electronic Times, reported that Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, a subsidiary of Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, has achieved breakthrough progress on its first fully independent production line. The line is expected to enter trial production in the second half of this year, with the goal of increasing its global NAND flash supply share to 15% by the end of 2026. The rapid construction of this 100% domestically produced production line was, in part, facilitated by the United States' ongoing technological blockade measures. The U.S. never anticipated that its three-year blockade would be in vain. 1. Yangtze Memory Technologies' continuous technological breakthroughs have led the U.S. to seek targeted measures. NAND memory is a non-volatile storage device that retains data even when the power is disconnected. Devices such as SSDs and USB flash drives fall into this category. Previously, this field was nearly monopolized by internationally renowned manufacturers such as Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron, leaving few Chinese companies able to compete. It wasn't until 2018 that Yangtze Memory Technologies achieved a technological breakthrough with its independently developed stacking architecture, becoming the first to achieve large-scale production of 232-layer flash memory chips. This technology not only significantly shortens R&D and manufacturing cycles, but also surpasses traditional NAND technology in storage density and operational efficiency. Leveraging this superior technology, Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, has rapidly narrowed the gap with storage industry giants like Hynix and Micron. By August 2022, the 232-layer 3D NAND chips produced by YMTC had surpassed even Samsung, Micron, and other companies in terms of process technology, becoming the world's leading manufacturer. However, it was this remarkable achievement that attracted the attention of the United States. In October 2022, the United States suddenly issued a ban on the export of advanced chip manufacturing equipment to China, subsequently placing YMTC on the blacklist. Shortly thereafter, the United States joined forces with Japan and the Netherlands to cut off semiconductor equipment sales to China. Looking back, in many areas, such as tunnel boring machines, navigation, MRI scanners, and high-speed rail wheels and bearings, China has faced technological monopoly and market closures from the West for decades. On the technological front, the West has adopted a defensive stance, refusing to share any relevant patents with China. This makes it extremely difficult for China to break free from its reliance on these technologies, often forcing it to import related products at exorbitant prices. The covert obstacles imposed by Europe and the United States in the memory chip sector are simply a familiar tactic. However, after decades of tireless efforts to break through technological barriers, China has accumulated extensive experience in dealing with such situations and is able to handle them with ease. 2. Fully domesticated equipment, China creates a breakthrough. Despite continued U.S. pressure on Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, its performance remains commendable. While actively promoting capacity expansion, YMTC is also diligently exploring the construction of domestically produced equipment production lines. According to the latest data, YMTC's monthly chip production capacity has increased from 130,000 wafers in 2022 to its current level. This year, it aims to increase its monthly capacity to 150,000 wafers, which would then represent 8% of the global supply. In early January of this year, market news indicated that Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, had entered mass production of its fifth-generation X4-9070 3D TLC NAND chips. Despite limitations in advanced manufacturing equipment, YMTC successfully achieved mass production of 294-layer stacks using its independently developed stacking, hybrid bonding process. Now, China's first production line utilizing domestically produced equipment has also been successfully launched. To be honest, there is still a certain gap between the current technological level of Chinese equipment and that of Western equipment. However, as long as China is determined, no technological hurdle is insurmountable. Today, Chinese tunnel boring machines account for over 70% of the global market share, and Beidou navigation has been recognized by over 200 countries and regions. The situation facing China's memory chip sector is quite similar. Achieving independence means that production lines no longer rely on imported equipment. All production processes are completed by domestic systems, thus freeing them from the constraints of U.S. sanctions and making it more difficult for the U.S. to exert influence. Furthermore, after YMTC's technological breakthrough, U.S. giant Micron was accused of plagiarizing YMTC's technology. China showed no mercy, and Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, promptly filed a lawsuit against Micron. YMTC's practice once again demonstrates that greater external pressure can propel China toward technological breakthroughs. U.S. containment efforts will be unable to halt China's resolute industrial rise. With the exemplary role of Yangtze Memory Technologies, YMTC, similar fully independent production lines are expected to continue to emerge, leaving the U.S. vulnerable.